Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. This is Salim Hlayel, the Principal Product Manager for the Oracle Application Express. I am based in Abu Dhabi City, the capital of United Arab Emirates, and I'm so pleased to be here for the second time for a dedicated series only for Oracle Apex Pakistan community. My next speaker, Gul Rahman, again for the second time he's appearing with us. I'd like to thank you, Gul, a very experienced, very highly talented young person who knows Oracle Forms and PLSQL and Apex. He's going to show us how to migrate from Oracle Forms to Oracle Apex, and he will be concentrating on the PLSQL part. When you use Oracle Forms, you have a lot of PLSQL code, you have so many triggers, and you will be surprised that we have the similar methodology in Apex, and Gul will show us this. Gul, the mic is yours. Please share your screen and you're good to go.
Thanks, Salim. Is it fine now? My screen is shared with you.
Yes, it's very clear, Gul.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to everyone. As Salim introduced that this is Gul Rahman, an Oracle Apex developer having around about 6 years of experience with Oracle Apex leading projects. So as per today's topic, I have to demonstrate Oracle Form Modernization to Apex. Before coming to the application, I have to do some coding. I would like to share some slides. So it's me, Gul Rahman, an Oracle Apex, having expertise of Oracle Apex, Oracle Forms, reports, and database with Oracle SQL, PLSQL, JavaScript, having expertise in BI Publisher and web services. So today's topic is Oracle Forms Modernization to Apex, Oracle Forms review. So Oracle Forms is a very stable product still being developed, and Oracle Forms continues to be fully supported by Oracle. It's still a best suited for heavy duty back office application, and it can integrate it with desktop tools, and still Oracle Forms is highly productive for our users. But there are some issue on Oracle Forms like browser support. So for browser support, we can utilize Java Web Start, and Oracle Forms is a non-responsive, not suitable for mobile devices. It's often hard to use non-intuitive runtime user interface, and it takes significant time for end user to become productive. If Form is supported version and meets all of your requirements, so stay on Forms and just do new development in Oracle Apex. Alternatively, you can convert all of your application into Apex. Why? What are the key reasons to modernize Oracle Form into Apex? Because we need a modern responsive user interface to be run on any devices, and need a solution for external use such as customer, partners, and a group of companies having multiple sites, multiple branches in different countries, different cities, different areas, and need simplified user interface is extending to corporate wide, and major functionality needs to be redeveloped. Because of some similarity, we are modernizing Oracle Form. We are switching from Oracle Form into Apex. The basic similarities like primarily code in SQL and PLSQL, and the same database-centric development. And Apex is generally a low-code declarative platform, and it can very easily integrate with Oracle packages, functions, procedures, and triggers. And it can be fully utilized with Oracle database features. Difference between Oracle Forms and Apex. Oracle Forms generally requires a full WebLogic server whereas Oracle Apex requires Oracle REST data services. And Oracle Apex requires a browser plugin or Java Web Start, whereas Oracle Apex can run on any modern web browser. Oracle Form generating files like FMB, MMB, and then FMX, and Oracle Apex is fully metadata-based. Oracle Form is suitable for desktop only, whereas Oracle Apex run on any device with zero development efforts. Oracle Form is difficult to style, whereas Oracle Apex is out of the box theming and theme styles. The key points of modernization of Oracle Forms: modernization is non-trivial, and the new Apex application will look and behave differently. And we should modernize business process, not only screen and pages and applications. So modernization step, how to move into Oracle Apex. First of all, install Apex into Oracle database and convert your forms executable file like FMB, MMB into XML through CMD. Load that XML file into Apex migration project, annotate that important business logic, and start create application development. So I'm coming to application, and as for the Oracle background, Oracle form background, you will need some global variable and some page level parameter. So how we have to declare and how we have to define some global variable and some page level parameter. To for that, I have to go to a share component, and I have to create some application item. I'm declaring some global variable. I have already created three application item: department, designation, and site. I want to create one more application item. And there are a lot of ways to declare global variable and to set some value. But today I will use only to declare global variable through PLSQL. Here I have created 4 application item, and now I need to set some values. I need to set value in these application item. So I will go to the I'm going to set value. For that, I have to go to login page, and I have to customize the login process. When the user is authenticated, then do this section. Here I have a sample code. I have to copy and paste it here after the login authentication. Here what I'm doing, I'm getting designation, department, and site, and passing it to the application item which I have created in the share component. I validate it, and I make it save and run the application. Now my value has been reset. I'm checking how it's showing my data, the global variable. Here I have created 3-page item, but I have to set the designation global variable in the default value of this page item. So here I'm going to set the PLSQL expression, and using a bind variable, I'm writing the name of that application item. And similarly, I have department. And I have site as well. Once I run my page, so it's showing my global variable and my application item data in these 3-page item. And I can use in the whole I can use these bind variable in the whole application, in any DML statement wherever I need in the whole application. So these are the global variable. And Oracle Forms is providing you by default a page level parameter, where Apex don't have such properties of a parameter, but we are using to create some hidden page item, or either you want to show some text field. Here I have taken three page item I'm using for page level parameter, but now I need to set some value. Like in Oracle form, we are using when new form instance trigger to set some value in the text field. So how we are handling when new form instance trigger in Oracle Apex? So for that we are creating a process, and I'm writing the name when new form instance, and the process type should be PLSQL code, and here I'm writing the PLSQL code. Already I have prepared my code, so I'm just copy and paste it in the PLSQL block. I compile it, it's yes. And the execution point of this process should be before header, that when my page is load, so then perform this action, then run this PLSQL statement. Alternatively, I can use it in the dynamic action as well, that when page load, then execute PLSQL code, when page load, then set value using SQL statement. Anyhow, both of them we can use either dynamic action or PLSQL process. So I'm going to set, and here my page level parameter has been performed. It's passed the value from the SQL statement to the page level parameter, and these page level parameter I can use only for the current page, and this is a these page level item only I can use in this way, like this name I can use in the SQL statement and PLSQL statement only for the current page. I'm going more to explore about PLSQL. So in Oracle form, we have most ever been used trigger like pre-text item, post-text item, post-change, key next item, and when validate item. So how we will have to perform such type of triggers, and I'm coming to explain more about like salary. So I'm going to set pre-text item. So how we will perform in Apex? So Apex providing you a JavaScript based dynamic action that when get focus on this item, like in Oracle form we are using pre-text item. So in Apex we will use get focus. When get focus on this item, so then perform the action, any action you want. Either you want to show and hide an item or any element or page or region or buttons, or enable and disable a button or page item, or you want to execute some PLSQL code, you want to show an alert, you want to set some value through JavaScript code, you want to set some value through SQL statement. So this is the alternative of pre-text item. And for post-text item and for post-change trigger, we are using when item change in a dynamic action, when item change. So then perform your action. Either you want to hide and show some element, or enable, disable, execute PLSQL code, execute JavaScript code to show an alert. So you can use it. And for key next item, and after key next item, you have to validate your page item data, or you have to validate some of your data. So for that we are using loose focus, is a dynamic action JavaScript based event when loose focus on this item. So this is the alternative of key next item, and on loose focus then you can validate your data, you have to execute your PLSQL code in the true action and pass your data into a hidden page item in this PLSQL code. Pass your data into the hidden page item, and then on the basis of that hidden page item, you have to perform your action. Either you want to show an alert or execute PLSQL code, execute some JavaScript code, so you can perform it here. So these are the alternative of these triggers. Another way, when I have created a farm region, and most of the time in Oracle Farm we are using pre-insert, pre-update, and pre-delete trigger. So how we will handle? I have a region which is actually the region type is farm, and it's have also a DML, a farm automatic row processing DML, which communicating from browser to the server, which delivering the data and getting the data from the database. So now I need to auto generate my primary key. I have to set some value as a on a pre insert. I have to set some value to the page item on pre update. So how we will have to perform? So I'm creating a process with the name of pre insert, and here I have to write my PLSQL code. Here I have written my code. I would like to copy. What it's actually doing, it's getting the employee number, maximum employee number, and adding one and passing their data into the current page item, page p4 employee number from employee table. And also I'm setting some value to like current user, current system date, and current system time. So it's been validated, and I have to set some values like current user and current system date and current time. And I want to make it set the sequence number before this process, that before insertion set these value, and their server side condition when primary key is null. So what it's actually doing, it's auto generating a number which is 7935, and also setting the value of created by, created on, and created time. So now I need also pre-update, and I want to set the updated user values. And when this process will run, when primary key is not null, it means on update time. And I want to set the execution point, and I want to create a process for pre-delete as well. Any action you want, you can perform here. And when this process will run, when delete button press. So what it will do, on update, it will setting the value of updated by, updated on, and updated time. Here I don't have the value of updated on, updated time. I want to update and want to update the salaries and apply changes, and it's updated all these three columns. So it means we can perform pre-update trigger as well. Now on the same page I have two table. I have two region, which is classic report. The first one region is on EMP table, and the second table is EMP1, which is actually the copy of EMP table. So I want to insert data into both table on the same time. So for that we are using in Oracle form post insert trigger, and on update we are using post update trigger, and for deleting the data from both table, we are using post delete trigger. So I would like to create both these trigger as well. Post insert, and here is my insert statement for EMP1 table, and I'm going to pass a server-side condition when click on create button, and I'm also writing a trigger for post delete. And this statement is for updating the EMP1 table, and I want to pass their server-side condition when I click on save button, or alternatively I can use as when item is not null, when primary key is not null. Sorry, it's taken a mistake. It's a post update trigger, and the third one trigger is for post delete. So for delete, I have to write a trigger for post delete. Delete from EMP1 where employee number equal to the current page employee number, and when it will be passed when click on delete button. So now I am inserting a data into EMP table. It will insert data into both tables. And it's creating a record in both table. I have EMP table and this one is EMP1. So I want to update their salaries. I want to make it 6,000 up to 60, and I want to make it president. So it means it's updating both table as well. Post update trigger is also working fine. I want to delete it from both tables, and that record has been deleted from both tables. So it means we can perform pre-insert, pre-update, post-insert, post-update, and post-delete in this way. Here we have another option of PLSQL error. Here I have created an interactive report, and I have created a checkbox using API. So this is an API which actually generating an HTML based input type element, and having one is the unique identifier for this column, and I'm passing the primary key of that table into this HTML input element. So this is the API I am using, and I want to run. And now on behalf of these array, I want to inspect, and it's actually returning the array a unique identifier name F01 and the employee number 7900. If I click on another record, so it will returning the employee number of that specific row. So on behalf of these array and on behalf of these checkboxes, I want to update or delete some data. So for that, I have to write some code, and on current page, I have to create for update. I want to create an updated trigger. Here I have a sample code I have written already. And what it's actually doing, it's getting the data from the array using a for loop. Is counting that how many record you have been stored in the array. So update the employee name with current page item, which is P7 ename, job, which is P7 job, and salary, which is P7 underscore sal. So it will update, and I'm creating also for delete. So for delete, I have also a sample code, and what it's actually doing, the same PLSQL code, but instead of update statement, I have written delete statement. So what I'm doing, I want to update their name, the name of Clark to Smith, and their job is to president, and their salary is to, it's already 10,000. I want to make it 20,000, and I think I save it. So yeah, sorry. I want to make it based on condition, and update will run on when click on update button. I want to update and update your salary up to 1,000. And this record has been updated. Their salary has been updated, name and president. But I want to delete some of their record. I want to delete all these 3 records. And when I click on delete, that record has been removed. I want to update their salaries and name. So all these records will be updated. And both of all these 3 record has been updated. At last, there is some exception, and using a PLSQL, as I myself, when I was a beginner, so I face a lot of problem regarding exceptions to show custom message and to show a readable message for the end user. So in the first statement, I have dynamic action having no handler, having no exception, having no any message. So when I click on this dynamic action, it's showing a message which is actually based on a database PLSQL numeric or character number to conversion error. So I want to replace this message on my custom message. So here what I did, I have added an exception and I'm passing my error message to a hidden page item and then calling an alertify plugin which actually returning my message. Here what I'm doing, I'm clicking on this button and it's returning my error message. In the process, same we have in this process we have no handler. I'm passing a character value to a number and it's actually uh, returning the same message based on database PLSQL numeric value or character to number, but I want to replace into my custom message. So there is another statement which actually what I'm doing, I'm passing my custom message to a hidden page item and calling that hidden page item in my process success message. So what it's actually doing, it's returning my custom message error found. And here I have API apex and apex underscore error, which in which we can show our custom message. And same we can in this statement, I'm also returning a character to a number, and I edit exception to show a custom error and also to raise in Oracle form we are using a raise form trigger failure. So same we are using a raise and I'm showing also custom error. So it will return both of the error, also the database level error and also my custom message. But alternatively, if I remove the raise and in the last statement, I have removed the raise and I have added an API apex underscore error packet and passing my custom message. And when I click on this button, so it will return only my custom message. So that's I think it's a bit lengthy topic. After this limited time, I think it's enough, and that's the end of my session.
Thank you very much, Gul, for your time and dedication. Through your update statement, you ended up having 3 presidents in your organization.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. I think your app, I saw it in the about page that this will be available in the GitHub, or
Yeah.
where are you going to put that?
Yeah, we will put in our official group, Pakistan Oracle Apex group, and I will also share from my Twitter account and on LinkedIn as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Gul. Please stop sharing your screen.
Sure.
My next speaker is Imran Shahzad, and with more than 10 years of experience in Oracle Forms, PLSQL, and SQL, and recently Apex, Imran is going to show us a very interesting use case. He's going to extend Oracle SaaS solution, and in particular, human capital management. He will show us the steps and the experience that he used to achieve that. Imran, the mic is yours. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Salim Hlayel. Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Imran Shahzad. I'm a software engineer, designer, developer, analyst, and consultant in the different solutions, particular to Oracle applications. I have an experience in developing application in Oracle Forms, Oracle Reports, Apex, ADF, .NET, and particularly SOA architecture and business intelligence solutions. So today, I'm audible. Hello. Hello,
yes,
everyone.
Yeah, we can hear you, Imran.
Okay.
You can share your screen and start.
Yes. Today I have a topic of Oracle Apex integration with Oracle HCM Cloud. Let me gonna share my screen, and I hope so. You are now going to explore some of the stunning feature of Oracle Apex application, and you will dive into deep side of the Oracle application. So here we go. Let me share my screen. Can you see?
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's clear.
Okay. That's fine. So I'll open my slide and we will go slide by slides because it will be for you as a documentation. So first of all, I would like to show you how we are going to achieve all these technical aspects in a nutshell. Here you can see we have a Oracle HCM Cloud, okay, and Oracle Apex running our RDS, and we are actually trying to communicate these two applications to share the data from the local database over the cloud using the Oracle Apex. And of course, this involves services, SOAP, and RESTful calls. Now let's come to the problem and then see what could be the possible solutions. Here, as I told, we are on HCM Cloud. We are running the HCM Cloud, and as Oracle HCM Cloud and all other ERP applications, actually all the ERP applications throughout the world can never ever 100% satisfied with your organization solutions. So might be you have to customize them. For example, in our case, we have HCM Cloud application. We have also e-business solution, financial solutions, ERPs. Besides the Oracle HCM Cloud, we have our time management system. We have employee leaving and rejoining system. Okay, we have personal payment method, medical insurance system, and all other small level of applications, which directly is not supported by the Oracle SaaS application, which is the standard of the Oracle HCM Cloud. So the solution is to customize these applications. We have developed these applications in Oracle Apex, and we are now integrating these applications to our HCM Cloud. So I would like to show you, first of all, to show you the final outcome of this demonstration. As you can see in front of me, we have Oracle HCM Cloud interface, login after login homepage. And here we have our 3 different Oracle Apex applications. We will call by clicking these applications from the HCM Cloud and trigger these applications to the Oracle application host. And of course, the challenging job is that our data resides in the Oracle HCM cloud, like new employees coming. We are updating the employees, and all these informations are currently in the Oracle HCM cloud. And for our application, we need all these data structures, all these data into our local applications that is in our Apex and resides in our local database. So here I want to show you what we are going to achieve here. For example, this is my HCM cloud login. So I'm just logging it. And here you can see that I have already opened an Apex application, which is the integrated application that we are going to integrate with this Oracle HCM cloud. This is purely Apex application, and the data, of course, is coming from the Oracle HCM cloud. As I told you, we have all these data in the Oracle HCM cloud. Now challenge to build the new application consuming that data and extending the feature of that cloud applications. So let us first we log in with this. So here we go. I just log in with my user ID and password. And I want to show you the outcome first, then how to achieve. We will go step by step. So this is my home page of Oracle HCM Cloud. As you can see that all these icons performing the regular HCM Cloud tasks. We have various functionalities, and those functionalities which are not present in the Oracle HCM Cloud, we are developing in our Apex as a development tool and integrating into the Oracle HCM Cloud. Like I have here our time management system under this icon. If I click this icon, as you can see that it is triggering the Oracle HCM Cloud. Okay. And we have this URL as I copied, and you can see this is automatically performing a login like a single sign-on and extending my existing cloud application towards my Oracle Apex application, which is used to develop for the overtime management system. So I have here my full-fledged application, and I have integrated with my current HCM cloud application. And I want to show you here, for example, if I log in with the particular employee that is a manager or the supervisor, let's see what will happen. So for the normal users, we also maintaining the user rights. Okay. For example, this is the supervisor, and under his team in the HCM cloud, we can see here our team members. Okay. Under him, we have here, as you can see, a little bit instance is slower, but it will come. As you can see here, these two members are working under him. Okay. And he is the supervisor of this team. So if I go back and I launch my Oracle Apex application using this icon, time and labor management system, and I'll show you here, it will show me the same structure that we have in the Oracle HCM Cloud. As you can see that this is a supervisor, and Imran and Harun are under his supervision, under his employees. So we are not only building, developing, integrating these applications, but also under the roles and under the authorization, we are managing these applications. And I want to show you how we will achieve all these tough areas, and how it will be possible to manage all these things together. So here I would like to go slide by slide. Now you see the problem area and the solution area. And now the question comes how we will deal all this, how we are creating the different icons in the Oracle HCM Cloud that are incorporating with the Oracle Apex applications, and how we are getting the data, the refresh data, updated data in the Apex application, which is in the local database system. And we have developed a totally full-fledged application. And for the user, it is the same experience. He is using as a single sign-on. He's going to our application from the HCM Cloud application. It's just like one building block, and he is using the one interface for all these three different applications. First of all, behind the scene, we have to mention here what is the technology. Okay, so I would like to show you here. If I click here, I instantly copy this URL, and I would like to explain you about this URL. As you can see here in my notepad, when I click this, I copy this URL, and the URL is like this. This is my Oracle Apex installed on RDS. Okay, this is my application ID. Okay, and this is my login page. Okay, I have here page items where I am passing page item, and this is the token. Okay, which is very important topic I want to highlight here. And under this token, I have this big value. As I highlight this, and I want to show you what is a token, what are the different parts, and how we incorporate everything about this token. You can, if you don't know, you can explore about the JWT token, and this is a very famous website, jwt.io. If I put my token over here, I can show you what are the different parts under this token. As you can see here, all these, it has three parts: red part, this purple, and this is blue part. And this red part, which is called as a header. Okay, we have this header information, and the second part is called the payload part, which contains the actual data. In payload part, you have to be very understandable. As you can see that IAT, which is the issue time, as you can see, dates and time is coming, and this is the expiry time. After the expiry, the token will be expired. Your application should not be accepted, go to the inside the application after this token is expired. So the security level, as you can see that in the JWT, we have expiry date, first of all, and all this data is encoded into the base 64-bit form. Okay, highly secured. And the third part is the key, which is stamped under with this data, which is the payload part. So if you do anything wrong with this token, like you can see it is invalid. So anything you want to play with this token, it immediately validates and it will be invalid. So once the token is invalid, you cannot enter into applications. So we are using the JWT technique to enter from the Apex, from the HCM Cloud towards the Apex authentications. And these three parts playing very vital role. As you can see that here, this is the issuer, which is of course Oracle. And this is, you can say that SUB is the user ID, which is inside my local database. And this parameter will be read in my database. Okay. And under this token, and this expiry and issuance date will be checked by the database. And if it is validated, then it will allow you to log in into the application, as it will say that, okay, sorry, your token is expired, or you have invalid credentials. Now we go to the next point. Now you see that how we are incorporating sending request from the HCM Cloud toward the Oracle Apex. But here, Not only this, I would like to show you the few steps that would do this and will be able to achieve everything. As I have shown here, this is the JWT part. And now the critical part is how we will catch data, how we will update, first of all, with the HCM cloud, the data like employees, all his data resides in the HCM cloud. Okay, so this data has to be in our database first before developing any application in Oracle Apex. Then they have provided, Oracle has beautifully provided two type of APIs, which is SOAP and RESTful APIs. Okay, so I would like to show you the documentation of this, and then we will go into the deeper part. As you can see on my screen, I have here Oracle HCM RESTful APIs. You can easily grab it from the Google. And here we have different endpoints. Okay, post, delete, get, patch, these methods. And we have here a complete set of subjects where we want to deal with creating an employee, updating an employee, getting a particular set of information, benefit, enrollments, list of values, everything is inside this documentation. Okay, so this play a vital role for your integration. Another part is that which is called the BI services. Over Oracle HCM Cloud, they are providing a wonderful BI services. Okay, and for integrating that BI part, sometime why we need it. First of all, why we need it, I would like to highlight that sometime you do not have the endpoints for the particular API. Okay, so what is the other solution? The other solution is that you can create a report in a BI publisher, and using this report service, this WSDL file, you can interact, you can grab data, you can put back this data back to our database using this SOAP service. Okay, even if you have installed the Oracle BI publisher, all those guys, they know very well that we have these services to incorporate, to get, we will create a report and we will catch the data from this service to our database. And how it is achieved, I'll show you here. For example, just to show you here, I am opening the SOAP API, which is the third-party tool, to show you what exactly is this. As you can see over here, I have created an entry with this URL. Okay, don't worry about this. This is the server URL. The actual path is the XML server /services v2 and report service.wisdl. Okay, once you enter, and if you have installed your BI publisher, it will show you all these possible handlers which you can use to handle your data. For example, here under the run report, if you call this run report, it can run your whole report and you can fetch data into the XML form, and this XML form you can send back to the Oracle database tables. For example, as you can see that this is my SOAP request. For example, I can show you here, this is my path, which is the Oracle BI publisher path. And under this, I have created one report. For example, this data is not available in the standard RESTful API. So what I am doing, I'm going back, I'm creating a report, okay, and I am taking data from the report itself. So this will tell the system, tell the Oracle BI publisher that, okay, go and execute this report and fetch all the data in the form of XML, okay, -1 mean all data with this user credential and password. Okay, so data will come like this. But again, there is a challenge. As you can see that data we are having here again is a base 62. It is encoded format. So you have to decode this data. not only getting the data is enough, getting, reading, and then interpreting the data is a vital task. So over here, as you can see that this is another online tool to show you that beside this data, we have here a proper XML form. As you can see that some of the XML output in the readable form I am showing you here. Okay. So we will get data in the form of XML using base 64 decoder. But of course, the question is we have to deal everything from our Oracle database technology using procedure function or whatever we have data structure available in the Oracle. So I want to show you here a little bit a standard procedure that will be doing this task. As you can see that, and this is the standard Oracle package that interacts with the Oracle HCM Cloud using the SOAP API, which you have used. And as you can see here, it will give me data, and then I am decoding this data, as you can see. Okay, this package is converting the base 64 to the normal varchar form. Okay, and now I am having the proper data and I am putting into the local table, which is this one. Okay, and every time this procedure runs overnight daily. Okay, and it brings all the employees, either they are updated, newly created, or information is changed. It will give me the refresh data of all these employees using the standard procedures, and it will comes in my hand under this table of the local database, which I want to show you here just as tabular base. Okay, now I have the standard set of data. Of course, I need to build all these application which are under my requirement, okay, of your company or of your enterprise. Now you have set up data. This is just an example for employees. Similarly, you can get data of roles, employees, their dependents, and their other salary structures, and all other areas of the applications. So you can grab data from HCM Cloud towards your application, towards uh, towards your Oracle database, that will provide a facilitator for the creation of this Apex application. Now we will go to the another part. I will go back, and as I'm showing you here, this is our, I just go to the slide, move the slides. Okay, so we have covered up to here. Okay, so we have converted this data. As you can see that all Oracle API, Oracle ERPs are also inbuilt in with the BI tools. Okay, as you can see that this is the report which is I have created in the Oracle BI Publisher, and using the package, using the procedure that I have showed you earlier, I am calling this report to fetch data in the form of XML and then converting it into the normal readable form and then putting into the database table. So my Oracle Apex can work because I need employees, I need their relevant data. Okay. And over here, these are the some of the attributes you need to configure before calling these XML services. As you can see here, domain name, service name, of course, your wallet path, password, and all these details. Okay. So the main thing is that you have to call this XML service under the report service you will call, and it will run the particular report of your choice, of your name, like in my case, new joined data, to getting all the employees which are joined or which are updated. Sorry, I just press end button. I'll go back. Okay, so yes. So we will see here that we have configured this service. And next tab, I showed you from my live instance the procedure which I have already shown you to fetch all these employees. Let us go to the next. Now I again talking to you as this data will be highly secure data. It will come in the form of base 64 encoded format. Always it will come in the form of base encoded format as I am showing you here. Okay, so go to the next tab. I have already shown you if you want to use to see that data for just an instance. When you are working as a new user, you can use the online converter and it will tell you that under this complex data, as you can see that unreadable format, this is the encoded format. Okay, so this is the readable format which is in the form of XML. Okay, once you convert, because this procedure I am converting it, and each step I am saving it into my table as well. Okay, so this is the XML readable format. Okay, now I converted this XML format to the XML type of the Oracle database. As you can see that this is a complete set of one employee. Okay, and it will come like that. And of course it will be the big globe data. Okay, so you have to work with the big globe data, and this is in the form of REST API. We have already discussed about this. And if you want to call any single API, okay, to get to fetch all employees, okay, in the form of RESTful APIs, as earlier we did it in the form of SOAP API, but this is in the form of REST API. Let me show you here in the live instance. For example, here, as you can see, I am opening here the Postman, okay, which is also a third-party famous tool to interacting with the services. So here is my URL. I will provide my basic authentication, okay, provided from the Oracle, and I will apply my content type, okay, and I will put here the endpoint and press the send request and make sure this is the get request. Okay, you need get to fetch the data. Okay, you need post to insert the data. You need patch to update the data. So it will comes like the JSON format. As you can see that this is the whole JSON data. Now its choice is yours. You want to go and get all this data, for example, implies in the from the RESTful API or from the SOAP APIs. So it's totally up to you. I have showed you both parts. As you can see, okay, when it finishes, the second employee entry will starts. As you can see that here, this is again first name, middle name, last name. So this is just to ensure that your services are running well. Okay, so these tools are good. If you want to confirm that our data is coming from the services, you can use these third-party tools, which is SOAP API and Postman. Now let us move to the next step. Okay, for example, I have here one example for you to show you in the form of RESTful API how we can incorporate Apex. Like particular to this example, let me make it maximize for you. I don't know why it is starting from beginning. Anyways, I'm just fastly going to the particular area. Okay, here we go. For example, if you want to update HCM Cloud employee, okay, from your Apex application, which use the RESTful APIs. So you will have to do work like this. For example, as you can see that I have parsed this Apex web services.make request. I just enter my URL with parameter and choose my method, which is get with my username and password. And then I convert it into the JSON table. Okay. And that JSON table will give me information that will I ensure that, okay, this employee with this first name, second name, this is the email. Okay. And in the next step, what I am trying to do, I am applying here, as you can see, focus here, please. This is the get method to get the data, to make sure that this employee exists with a valid information. Once you get the data, you have here patch method. Okay. So I am applying the next endpoint, okay, with my key, which I have written in the earlier step. Okay, and now I am applying the patch method. So whatever you did in the patch method will be particularly updated to the Oracle HCM cloud. Okay, so this line I am just for my making my log, I am inserting into my local table. So in this way you can interact from the Apex application or from the Oracle database to build such a wonderful and high and huge type of applications. And of course, if we talk about the ERP of an enterprise, all these applications are the huge and like are rocky applications. We have to deal with this. Either way, either you can choose the SOAP, either you can choose the RESTful, you can deal with this. And now let us come to the point. And okay, now we have here data in our tables. We can stand our application in the Apex, but now how we can call the Oracle HCM from HCM cloud to the back to our Apex application. Like I have shown you earlier, icons that are in the Oracle HCM cloud, and we click and we go to the our Apex applications. Okay, so in the Oracle HCM cloud, we will go to the sandbox. We will create one sandbox. Okay, and then in this sandbox, we at least has to select appearance and structure. Rest are not mandatory. Okay, even appearance, if you want to change the look and feel of these icons and style that comes in front of you. After doing this, okay, you will go to the structure. Okay, under this structure, you will go to the create new page entry. Okay, under the page entry, it will open the new page for you, and you will have to tell the application name. You can assign the icon, whatever of your choice, and you will select here static URL, and this is your Apex URL. Okay, and I would like to highlight you this URL, and I will show you. As you can see here, this is our path where Apex is installed. Okay, in my case, I'm using the RDS and I am passing as a page item. You can also use the sanitary function or the other way to pass these variable, and that you can receive in the Apex sides. And over here, this is my JWT page field, which I will show you in the Apex side short time after. And here I am passing these values, and you don't have to bother about this. These are the bulletins, okay, standards. You just mention as a constant value, it will return the value. Okay, so for example, this is the, in technical term, these are called the bean variables. Okay, so if you put this string, it will automatically return the unique token, okay, which contains all these three parts: header, payload, and secured key. And your this page item of Apex will be receiving this value. Now go to the next, to the Apex side. Of course, in the Apex side, we have here login page. As you can see that now we want to, first of all, make sure that this JWT is valid, and we will authenticate this JWT. As you can see, I have here used two functions: get JWT info and then validate JWT. Now let's go to the procedure, which is the get JWT info. As we have, I earlier show you in the jw.io, we have three parts: header, payload, and public key. As you can see that I use here string to table function of Oracle Apex utility, okay, which returns me three different parts of this JWT. And now in the next JWT validate, I am validating that is the token is not expired. Okay, before it is expired, any hacker can copy paste and use your application. You can do nothing. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have to validate properly this JWT with your application that will run in the Apex form. Okay, so this will procedure will give you the idea of how to validate this JWT token. And at the end, we have here applications, okay, with three icons or whatever new icon. You can extend the functionality, and of course it is secure, it is robust, it is highly managerial oriented requirement, that they don't want to experience new application by moving their user to another login and password, to the third login and password, it should act as a single sign-on option, and your current Oracle HCM Cloud is now extended with your provided application, developed application in Oracle Apex, and for the user, it is a wonderful experience. And I think that's enough what I want to explain. And of course, it will give you new ideas to open your brainstorming, give you new understanding of utilizing the Oracle applications and getting this deepest area, and of course dive into the deep side of the Oracle with some challenging jobs. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, Imran. I think what we get from today's session is there are two use cases for Oracle Apex. The first one is modernizing your Oracle forms, and Gul has shown us that you could do this by imitating whatever Oracle forms today has, and all the knowledge that you have in SQL and PLSQL, you can easily migrate that to Oracle Apex. All what you need to do is what are the alternative functions, and with a little bit of dynamic action, you don't need even to know a lot of JavaScript. With a little bit of dynamic actions, you can migrate all that PLSQL code from forms to Oracle Apex. And in the second part, Imran has shown us how you could use Oracle Apex in another use case of extending ERP systems, the cloud ERP systems. So you could use all these reports that comes out of the box with the BI, and also you could extend the system itself by adding a shortcut to Oracle Apex with almost single sign-on functionality using JSON Web Token. So you could say that the possibilities of Apex are unlimited. All what you need to do is just explore them.
Thank you, Mr. Salim. Thank you, Mr. Gul. It's a wonderful time. I really enjoyed a lot, and hopefully we are keen interested to have such sort of coming webinars and presentations, and to show our work. And because as I earlier spoke, we are just learner, we are student, we are just always learning. We are trying our develop our best practices to give the modern and well equipped with towards the technology, using all the endless possibilities. Because once you are working under the organization, you cannot say no. Okay, this is what I learned. You have to continue. When you say no, you are give up. Okay, so before
totally
that you are struggling.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
And probably Apex community is the greatest on earth when it comes to software development. People like to learn from each other. People like to share their knowledge. I really would like to thank you all, guys, and stay all the audience today. Please stay tuned for the next session. It's going to be very exciting as well. Thank you a lot for your time and for attending, and see you soon, inshallah. Thank you, Gul. Thank you, Imran.
Bye bye.
Salam
Bye
alaikum.
bye.
Thank you, inshallah. Thank you, Allah. Please.